There's a lie that's been passed around for decades that nuts are nature's perfect health food. And for a long time, I believed it too. But if you're a man over 60 and you're waking up with weaker erections, foggy memory, or unexplained fatigue, the truth might be hiding right in your kitchen cabinet, because not all nuts are helping you. In fact, some are quietly working against you, spiking your blood pressure, clogging your vessels, disrupting your medications, and yes, slowly draining your strength where it matters most. That's what I've seen after 27 years of working with older men across the United States. Men like you who want to feel sharp, energized, and intimately alive again. When they remove the wrong foods and replace them with the right ones, their body responds. Fast. So today I'm going to walk you through 8 nuts, 4 that are silently wearing you down, and 4 that I recommend every man over 60 eat daily to support testosterone, brain health, blood flow, and better sleep. And stay with me until the end, because the final nut I'll reveal is the one I consider the most dangerous for older men, especially if you're taking any prescription meds. And hey, if this topic speaks to you already, comment 1 right now, so I know you're here for real solutions. If not, comment 0, so I can improve the next video for you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another truth about your health after 60. Let's get into it. The first nut I want you to think twice about is cashews. I know they're sweet, creamy, and show up in almost every so-called healthy snack bar. But what most men don't realize is cashews come with a double-edged blade, especially as you age. Let me tell you about Ron, a 74-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio. Still mows his lawn every week, still active, but he came to me frustrated. His blood sugar was inching up despite no sweets, and his digestion was sluggish. When we looked at his diet, he mentioned casually, "I snack on cashews every day. They're better than chips, right?" But here's what I explained. Cashews are one of the highest carb nuts, containing nearly 9 grams of carbohydrates per ounce. And for older adults with slower insulin response, that can lead to sneaky sugar spikes. Worse, they're rich in oxalates, compounds that increase your risk of painful kidney stones, especially dangerous if you're not hydrating enough. Cashews are also often processed with heat and chemicals to neutralize natural toxins, including a substance found in poison ivy. That processing can strip away key nutrients, leaving you with calories but very little payoff. When Ron swapped out the cashews for a smarter nut, one we'll talk about later, he noticed his belly bloat faded, his energy climbed, and his blood sugar numbers stopped creeping up. Comment 2 if you've ever eaten cashews thinking they were healthy. You're not alone. Now let's talk about something even more deceptive. Pine nuts. They're tiny, expensive, and often praised in fancy health blogs for making things like pesto heart smart. But for older adults, pine nuts can stir up a storm you didn't see coming. A woman named Grace, a 76-year-old school teacher, came in one day saying, "Doctor, everything tastes like metal, even water." She wasn't sick, her labs were fine, but she had one new habit, sprinkling pine nuts into salads and dips every day. Turns out, she was experiencing something called pine mouth, a bitter, metallic taste disturbance triggered by certain varieties of pine nuts. And while that might sound like just an annoyance, for older adults, it's serious. When food and water stop tasting right, you stop eating, you drink less. That leads to dehydration, weight loss, and declining immunity, fast. But pine nuts go deeper. Their oils oxidize quickly, creating rancid compounds that may increase inflammation. And here's the big issue. They can interfere with liver enzymes, affecting how medications are broken down. Blood pressure meds, statins, antidepressants, you name it. If your liver can't process it right, side effects can increase, or the drugs might not work at all. Grace cut the pine nuts, and within a week, her appetite came back. Her strength, her hydration, all improved with that one simple change. Sometimes it's not about doing more. It's about removing what's quietly doing harm. Next up is the nut that surprises nearly every man I meet, macadamia. The nut that often tricks even the most health-conscious men into gaining weight, feeling sluggish, and putting unnecessary strain on their heart. I'm talking about macadamia nuts. They've got a rich, buttery taste, no doubt, and for years they've been marketed as the healthy fat alternative to junk food. But for men over 60, that buttery texture hides a deeper issue. Macadamias are extremely calorie-dense. Just a small handful can deliver over 200 calories and 22 grams of fat. And here's the thing, those calories are easy to underestimate, especially when you're snacking at night or pairing them with wine or cheese. I had a patient named Leonard, a 69-year-old retired pilot from Arizona. He walked in feeling heavier than usual, but he swore his diet hadn't changed. No sugar, no soda, no fast food. But every night he treated himself to a small bowl of macadamias. Just a few, he said. But those few added up. Over 1,400 extra calories a week, mostly from saturated fat. And macadamias, while natural, are still very high in saturated fat, which can raise LDL cholesterol and stress the cardiovascular system, especially in older adults already managing blood pressure or statin medications. Plus, they're tough on digestion and can trigger gallbladder flare-ups, especially in men with hidden gallstones, something very common past age 60. Once Leonard switched to a more metabolically friendly nut, the bloating eased, his waistline shrank, his energy returned. Sometimes it's not about eating less, it's about choosing smarter. Now let's talk about what I consider the most overlooked risk nut for older adults, peanuts. Yes, the classic American staple. Found in trail mix, peanut butter, energy bars, and snack bowls everywhere. But here's a fact most men over 60 have never been told. Peanuts aren't even real nuts. They're legumes. And because they grow underground, they're uniquely vulnerable to mold-based toxins, specifically aflatoxins. These invisible toxins have been linked to liver damage and weakened immune response. And if you're over 60, your detox systems are already slowing down, making it harder for your body to flush out contaminants. I remember Barry, a 73-year-old retired paramedic from Florida. He had joint aches, brain fog, and high blood pressure that wouldn't respond to medication, and yet he was doing everything right. No junk food, low sodium. But he snacked on salted peanuts every single day, thinking it was a smarter choice than chips. What Barry didn't realize is that peanuts are often roasted in inflammatory oils, then salted excessively. The perfect storm for heart stress and hidden inflammation. They can also interfere with how your body absorbs certain medications, especially blood thinners, by disrupting vitamin K metabolism in the liver. When Barry swapped the peanuts for a cleaner, anti-inflammatory nut, the difference was remarkable. His clarity improved, his joints loosened up, and his blood pressure finally started responding. Comment 3. If you've ever snacked on peanuts without realizing the damage they could cause after 60, you're not alone, but now you know better. So, that's the list of 4 nuts I recommend cutting back on or avoiding completely: cashews, pine nuts, macadamias, and peanuts. Each one may look harmless, even healthy on the surface. But when you dig into the way they affect your blood sugar, medications, inflammation, or digestion, it's clear they're not designed for the aging body. But here's the good news. There are 4 other nuts that do the opposite. Ones that I recommend daily to my clients and patients who want to feel more energetic, more focused, and more intimately connected again. Let's start with one that's so powerful. I call it nature's testosterone spark plug, the Brazil nut. I'll never forget Raymond, a 66-year-old former high school coach who came in with low energy, declining intimacy, and this sense of fog he just couldn't shake. His lab results revealed a surprising culprit: low selenium levels. Selenium is a trace mineral, but don't let the word trace fool you. It plays a major role in testosterone production, thyroid health, and brain performance. And here's where it gets amazing. Just one Brazil nut contains more than 130% of your daily selenium needs, in a form that is far more absorbable than most pills or supplements. I told Raymond, skip the capsules, just eat one Brazil nut every morning. 3 weeks later, he returned with a spark in his eye and a spring in his step. His testosterone was climbing, his memory felt sharper, and his bedroom confidence? Let's just say he wasn't complaining. Brazil nuts also help protect the myelin sheath, the part of your nerves that controls movement and reflexes. That's crucial for staying active, coordinated, and independent as you age. And yes, just one a day is enough. Too much selenium can be harmful, but one, that's a game changer. Now, let's pair that powerhouse with a nut that's just as critical for your bones and brain, and probably sitting in your pantry already. If you're getting true value from this, if this content is helping you understand your body better and feel more in control, comment for right now, so I know to make more videos just like this. And if you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, now's the moment. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because your next breakthrough could be one video away. Let's keep going. Right after the Brazil nut, the testosterone spark plug, comes one of the most dependable, protective nuts you can eat daily after 60, almonds. Every time I think of almonds, I think of a patient named Walt, a 71-year-old Army veteran from Michigan. Walt had a quiet strength to him, but after a minor fall that fractured his wrist, he came to me with a question I'll never forget. Why did this fall break me when just a few years ago I would have bounced back? The truth? Bone density loss is a silent threat for men over 60. Most men don't think about osteoporosis, but you should, because a single fracture can change your independence, your routine, even your lifespan. And this is where almonds step in. They're rich in calcium. Yes, but what makes almonds uniquely powerful is their magnesium content. Magnesium helps guide calcium into your bones instead of letting it harden your arteries. It's a critical nutrient for skeletal strength, but also for your heart, brain, and blood pressure regulation. Even better, almonds, especially with the skin on, are packed with flavonoids and vitamin E, which help fight brain inflammation and oxidative stress. That's the stuff behind memory loss and cognitive decline. And here's something most men don't know. Even the fiber in almonds supports regular digestion, which becomes increasingly important with age. I typically recommend 15 to 20 almonds a day, raw or dry roasted, unsalted, chewed slowly. It's not just a snack, it's a strategy for longevity. Comment 5 if you're already eating almonds, or you're ready to add them starting today. Now, the next nut on our list might surprise you, because it looks almost like a tiny brain, and in many ways, it's designed exactly for that purpose. I'm talking about walnuts. I once worked with a jazz musician named Phil, a 68-year-old saxophone player who lived for music. But he was scared. He told me he kept forgetting notes mid-song, misplacing his car keys, losing his rhythm in ways that felt off. When we talked about diet, he mentioned walnuts, said he'd read they help with memory. And he was right. Walnuts are a gift to the aging brain. They contain ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that keeps the membranes of your brain cells flexible and responsive. As we age, those membranes stiffen, slowing communication between neurons. And that's when things like memory, focus, and recognition start to slip. Walnuts also deliver powerful polyphenols, antioxidants that cross into the brain and reduce inflammation, one of the root causes of dementia. On top of that, they contain natural melatonin, which can help restore the deep sleep cycles that so many men struggle with after 60. Phil added a handful of walnuts to his daily routine, and over the next month, he told me something beautiful. Doc, I don't just remember the notes again. I feel like I'm finding myself. That's the power of the right food. I recommend 7 to 9 walnut halves per day, raw, preferably with the skin, because that's where many of the most healing compounds live. Let's move to the final nut I recommend eating every day. And this one helps with blood pressure, vision, and blood sugar all at once. Pistachios. Now, these often get overlooked, maybe because they're small or because they take effort to crack open. But that effort, that's part of their genius. It slows you down, makes you eat more mindfully, a huge advantage when it comes to avoiding overeating. Pistachios are loaded with potassium, more per ounce than most fruits. That's vital for relaxing your blood vessels and helping manage high blood pressure, something 2 out of 3 men over 60 are battling right now. But there's more. Pistachios are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 antioxidants that concentrate in the retina and help protect your vision. If you're worried about blurry sight, floaters, or macular degeneration, this is the nut to reach for. And if you're managing prediabetes or diabetes, pistachios have a low glycemic index, good fiber, and help stabilize blood sugar after meals. They're one of the few nuts that support both heart and metabolic health without overloading your system. I suggest 1 ounce a day, about 49 pistachios. Choose unsalted or lightly salted and store them in an airtight container to preserve their freshness. Now that we've covered all 8, here's where it all comes together. For men over 60, small choices add up. That bowl of nuts on your counter isn't just a snack, it's a signal to your hormones, your arteries, your memory, and your mood. So here's what I encourage you to do. Let go of peanuts, cashews, pine nuts, and macadamias. They may look innocent, but for your age and your health goals, they're quietly working against you. And instead, welcome Brazil nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios into your routine. Eat them daily, not by the bagful, but mindfully, intentionally, as a tool for healing. You don't need pills, powders, or painful procedures to feel like yourself again. You just need to start sending the right messages to your body through what you eat. If this video helped you or reminded you of someone you care about, comment 6 below. That's how I know this message is reaching real men and women who need it most. And if you'd like to see more science-backed, emotionally honest advice like this, make sure you're subscribed to Life After 60. This channel is built for you, for your future, your strength, and your joy. Because aging doesn't mean slowing down. It means waking up and living smarter, stronger, and more connected than ever before.